Hello everyone, welcome to my channel Beyond the Sewing Room. I'm Diane. So today I'm going to be sharing with you a few ideas on pyjama making. My most recent pair that I've just finished yesterday, I'll share them with you along with a few images and a couple of pairs that I've made in the past. So we're going to be talking about a few patterns, ones that I've used before, what I've done instead of using a pattern on a couple of occasions, and also some ideas from a book. Which, if you have this book, you could make some pyjamas from this one too. So you don't always have to use the conventional pyjama patterns. So I'm going to share a few images, a few patterns, a little bit of a chat about what we can do, and it's really great for scrap busting as well. So if you're looking to use up some of your leftover fabrics, there are lots of ways that you can mix and match them and use these up for great loungewear or nightwear. So first of all, we're going to start with the pair that I've just finished. Now, if you watched my video previously, I did share a piece of fabric, a gorgeous piece that I had left from work project, and it's called Boudoir Bouquet. I've used this a few times, and I did actually then go and find another piece in a jersey of the same design. Now, this is only a small piece, but it was great because I managed to get the top to go with my pyjama bottoms out of it, and it's a little sort of cami top. Now, as you can see in the images, I've now got sort of a matching set. The cotton sateen that I use for the bottom is just a slightly shade out, but I think that's because it's a different fabric, but it doesn't matter. So this is the top that I made. Now for this one, I didn't actually use a pattern. And what I've done is, I have a top like this. You will probably, all of you, have tops like this in your collection. And I just laid it on with a centimetre allowance all the way around and cut out this part. So the front and the back are exactly the same. And then if you fold it in half like this and just check that everything is equal and that your tops are equal, and then sort of trim it away a little if it's not, then you've got your front and back. And then for these straps, it's just 2 strips of fabric. So you lay it out, lay it along the armhole here, and with your top neatly folded, you see how much it comes to at the top, and then you just take a little out. So in my case, it was about 1 inch, because what you want to be able to do is you want to have to pull it in at this point when you're stitching it on. I think I'll do a little lesson on this in future and show you exactly step by step how to do it. So if you're interested in that, please do let me know in the comments. But yes, I ran this up in no time at all and cut it out. And it was just so easy to make. So that's the top. Well, it isn't a jersey, it's a French terry, by the way, not a jersey. So that's a French terry, and you make sure that this part going this way is on the stretchiest part of the fabric. So that doesn't use much because we've only got sort of this part to here, and then either your waist or your hips, depending on how long you want it. Then a couple of strips just for these straps. So it's really easy to do. So that's what I did for the top. And then for the bottoms, I did use a pattern. So the pattern that I used for the bottoms was this one. So it was McCalls, and it's 7875. I've made this one before as well, but not for me. And last time I also made the robe, which looks really lovely. So as you can see on the trousers on this one, you've got piping and a bottom band. All I did was I left off that bottom band and piping, and I just cut the trousers longer. Sort of laid on one of my existing pair of pyjama bottoms to see how long they needed to be, and just cut longer than the pattern pieces for that. I didn't use that band piece, I didn't add it on or anything, I just cut it out longer, and that worked fine for me. Now what I will say about this pattern is it is very low rise. So if you don't like things too low rise, add 1 inch or 2 to the top of the pieces and also to both sets of pocket pieces. And that will solve that problem for you. So it is meant to sit sort of at the hip, just above the hip. So I've made mine like that, and I'm happy with that. But if I make them again, I think I will probably add a little, just to bring them up, just a touch. And on this one, you've got a drawstring and you've got this ribbon. I've just used elastic, and the elastic I've used is this one, which is 3 centimetre. It's good and firm, but it's not too thick. So when you're choosing your elastics, maybe have a think about that they're not too stable, because this is loungewear or nightwear if you're wearing it for bed. You don't want it to be too firm on you, but firm enough to hold nicely in the waistband. So you can get different thicknesses, different softnesses, and yeah, it's worth thinking about that if it's for comfy wear. Or you could just do a drawstring if that's what you prefer and tie it. So that's that one. And as you can see in the images, it's quite a good fitting trouser. So the trousers, so here's my band, and here is the pocket. They've got pockets in, and they're a proper pocket in the side. And I really like them. I think it's come out really well. And then I had them on last night when I was watching TV later on. So I'm really happy with that set. So that might be something you want to try. A little sun top, just based on one that you've already got. And then you could either use that pattern, or you could get some of your existing pajama bottoms and lay them out and cut round them. Because we are literally talking 2 front pieces, 2 back pieces, a waistband. You don't even need to add the pockets if you don't want to add in that extra element. If you're a little bit nervous about making pockets just yet, you could completely leave them. And then the next set, these, I love these, and these are so comfy. Now, I did that method for these. I cut around some existing ones. I just added in an elastic. It's a thinner elastic this time for the waistband in the casing, like this. A little bow at the front. These have got pockets in the side. And these are Art Gallery fabrics. And this is 100% cotton jersey. This is the softest, and it's just so comfy. So I really love these. And for the top on this one, I just cut round an existing vest top of mine. So there's a bit of thread there that needs cutting off. That is the easiest vest top because I didn't even bind around the top and sides because I wanted it to be as soft as possible. I've just overlocked around and then just turned it back 1 centimetre and hemmed it all the way around. So that's the top. Just literally cut around the front and back of a vest top and then just hem it. And that is all I did for that one. And that is probably my most worn pair, mainly because if you're going for the comfiest possible fabrics, you want 100% cotton jersey. And that's what that is. So as I said, Art Gallery fabrics if you're interested in the design. And then this one I made last year. So I'm going to insert some images. These again have a pocket. They also have a yoke at the back on this one. And this one is a charmuese fabric. Now, if you followed in the past, I may have shared this last year when I made them. I do love it. And for the top, I used the Mood camisole. So I'll try and find the link to that and link that in. I did do a little tutorial on this last year. So I made the camisole to go with it and I lined it in this green. So this is really fun and I love the print. But one thing I have to say about the charmuese is because it's spring summer at the moment and it's warm, it does cling to you a little bit. So in the summer months, the trousers and the top, I find it clings. So not as comfy as the bottoms on the one that I made yesterday are cotton sateen. And the previous ones, as I said, are 100% cotton. I think you can't beat 100% cotton jersey if you just want soft, cool, and something that doesn't grab to you. Especially if you're prone to overheating or getting too hot. So I would stay away from the charmuese for loungewear or nightwear if you don't want something that is not going to be great for summer or sort of warm months. So while it looks fabulous, I think it looks fabulous. And it doesn't really crease up. So that's great. But it's just a shame I do find it a bit grabby if you get too hot. So those are the ones that I've made. And what I found is, I made a few different ones in the past. Loads of different designs are gorgeous. It just depends on what you're after. So I've shared the one with the robe. And this one you can make for yourself or your partner. And I made this one before. You can do shorts or the long bottoms. You can do a robe, a t-shirt or a vest. So this one is really good value. It's simplicity. And it's 1563 and it says for guys and gals on it. And you get all of those options. So that's brilliant. So you could make this for the whole family. So I really think that is a great budget pattern if you're looking for nightwear for all of you and you've got all the different components in there depending on what you want. So I have tried and tested this, and this is great. So I'll tell you the sizing in case you're interested in that. We've got from a 30 to 32 chest up to a 46 to 48. So it's XS to XL. So that one is great. And then the other one, which is also, if you're looking for other family members, is this one where you've got the shirt, the vest top, or the long bottoms or shorts on this one. Again, simplicity, and this one is 3971. I've made quite a few others, but I can't put my hands on them at the moment. But what I have found out, and I have used this before for little t-shirts and tops, and I have wore those in the winter as part of my sort of nightwear and so on. And it's either the Frankie t-shirt in Tilly and the Buttons sewing stretch, I'll insert the image here, or you've got the Stella joggers. So with the Stella joggers, if you make those in a lightweight jersey, like I said before, and the way it's styled here in this image, she's clearly styling it as nightwear. So she's got the hoodie top on and the joggers. Now I've made the hoodie a few times, and I do wear that over my pajamas in the winter when I'm watching TV in the evenings. So again, that is a great one to wear for loungewear or nightwear if you're not wearing it in the day. And of course the bottoms. And then the Frankie t-shirt, again, it's great because you can style it lots of different ways and it's such a casual look. So that's a great one for making up for nightwear. Now, depending on how you use up your scraps will depend on your overall look. So you may not have enough to make a matching set if you're scrap busting. But what you can do is have a look at what colours go together. If you make the Frankie t-shirt, you could pick out a colour from your pajama bottoms and just do the sleeve and maybe the neckband in it to tie it all together. So the same could go for all kinds of details, like maybe just, if you've got two completely different colours, the drawstring or the little bow on your pajama bottoms could match the top. Or maybe just a bow on the top, or maybe some binding around the vest, or the straps on the little cami top that you make to go with the bottoms could make it match. So there's lots of different ways that you could use up your scraps there and make it look like a coordinating set. You could also do some applique with a design on the front using one of the colours from the bottoms onto the top, and all these little elements help tie it together. So that's something that you could think about. So I hope you've enjoyed having a little look through those today. And scrap busting and pajama making just go hand in hand, I think. Let me know what you've been up to and if you've had a go at any of these ideas. That's all from me for today, and I'll be back soon with more sewing inspiration for you. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.